To declare recess of the committee at any time. The committee is meeting today to hear testimony from the Secretary of the Department of the Interior, the Honorable Deborah Holland, on the Department of Interior's fiscal year 2025 budget request. Under Committee Rule 4F, any oral opening statements at hearings are limited to the chairman and the ranking minority member. I therefore ask unanimous consent that all other members' opening statements be made part of the hearing record if they are submitted in accordance with Committee Rule 3.0. Without objection, so ordered. Good morning and welcome, Secretary Holland. We appreciate having you back in the committee, and I'm looking forward to hearing your testimony and the questions from our members today. While some things have changed since you last appeared before us, much has remained the same. I know our members and I have many questions for you on DOI's policy making over the past 12 months and the way your agency continues to ignore local voices in pursuit of vague, undefined goals dictated by a radical agenda. The consequences of DOI's actions are deeply felt in areas that have relied on multiple use of public lands for generations. These communities have been abruptly destabilized by decisions from D.C. bureaucrats who think they know what's best. Despite the administration's inclusive claims, their actions paint a different picture, one that is causing real harm to our fellow Americans. DOI's games are putting America in jeopardy. With so many questionable actions from DOI, it is impossible to name them all, so instead I'll take them one jeopardy category at a time. The first is faux conservation, a category of cleverly named actions that in reality restrict land access to further an extreme environmental agenda. Leading off, the Bureau of Land Management's final rule, which when first proposed drew the ire of Western governors, members of Congress, and thousands of Americans. It's a danger to the land America relies on to feed and fuel our economy and a blatant disregard for input. The answer to that clue is, what is BLM's public lands rule? Not to be outdone, the next category is rogue rules, and here's your clue. This rulemaking will impose new fees and regulatory burdens on Americans' energy producers, have devastating effects on small businesses, and increase energy costs for consumers. The answer is, what is BLM's onshore leasing rule? Or how about our next category, where's my energy? I'll give you several clues, starting with the latest devastating sanctions on Alaska. The decision to limit energy development in the NPRA ignored the blatant concerns of indigenous communities, residents of Alaska, and Alaska's entire congressional delegation. The Biden administration also effectively shuttered mineral development in Alaska by blocking the access road to the Ambler Mining District. Lest President Biden forgets, these are the same minerals needed for his own renewable energy goals, not to mention the items we depend on for our daily use. When it comes to these actions, and this clue, the answer is clear, and that is what are Biden's attacks on Alaska's right to produce energy and minerals. I've been a little tongue-in-cheek with my examples, but the jeopardy posed by the actions of the Department of Interior under the Biden administration is all too real. Each decision I outline came out of just the past 2 weeks. Just the past 2 weeks, those 3 decisions and 3 rules which seem more like lawmaking that Congress should be doing instead of rulemaking by the administration. There's not enough time for me to outline the attack after attack from this administration since day one. At the same time, the Biden border crisis has spread to every community across America. I've spent time in New York City, of all places, seeing how National Park Service lands are now home to camps for migrants. This rules for thee and not for me situation shows DOI is choosing to prioritize the needs of migrants above the safety and well-being of American communities and our treasured public lands. This administration treats policymaking as a game, using American communities as political pawns. Unfortunately, decisions have real consequences. We're talking about people's livelihoods, real money, not game show winnings. In contrast, Republicans have advanced policies that promote a healthy environment and a healthy economy. These are not mutually exclusive goals. In fact, they go hand in hand. Our solutions provide access to American resources, advance conservation, environmentally friendly ideals, and put local leaders in the driver's seat instead of DC bureaucrats. Secretary Holland, I urge you to give all communities a seat at the table, not just the ones that fit your narrative. End this pattern of disrespect and disregard and work with us to enact meaningful change that works for everyone. I yield back my time and now recognize the ranking minority leader, Ms. Kamlager Dove, for any statement.